Monday, and we're here to learn about our SWAT today. So that's very exciting. I have some great information for you today, so that's going to be really awesome. I'm so excited that it's starting to get a little warmer. I know there's a lot of talk about whether or not they're going to change the daylight savings time. So that should be interesting to find out what they're going to do there and what we end up voting for, because I think it's like a 50-50 right now, just kind of interesting. Anyway, so one of the things I want to go over today is, of course, the Sustainable Salon Summit. Um, it's right here. We're so excited about the summit. There's going to be some incredible education at this event. Really, the CEOs are coming out to educate our guests about sustainability, about about weighing and measuring your product, about motivation, body language. I mean, the amount of education that you're going to get is incredible. And it's really a world class education. These people are coming from all over. We've got all kinds of surprises. So I'm excited for you to find out more about that. We can get you a ticket to that event. Um, just let us know. Make a comment and we'll get you a ticket right now. If you're on this forum, we're able to get you a discount code. So if you make a comment, we'll send you over the QR code for that. Super excited. It's in South Lake, May 21st. Don't miss it. Um, it's at the Legends of the Mark. It's an incredible location, absolutely beautiful venue. And we have the entire venue. So it's going to be awesome. We're going to have open bar. There'll be a red carpet event in the Highbrook. There's going to be a red carpet event with international um, show and the first United States USA red carpet. And Brandy Thorpe, the manager of Head Case Hair Studio, is going to be doing the models for that. So we're super excited. There's so much going on. It's going to be an absolutely amazing event. You're not going to want to miss it. So make sure you get your tickets as soon as possible. The be looking for the compass, and that will give you get you to the ticket, or just make a comment here and we'll send you a QR code. So that's the first thing. That's exciting. Secondly, I want to talk about the resources real quickly that you have available to you on this in this community. So first of all, this community has the salon as a resource for you. What the salon is in Keller, it's called Head Case Hair Studio, and can do for you is you can go through and um, you can tour the salon. There's classrooms. We have educators there. So you can see exactly how Kelly did her $2 million salon, almost 2 million. We should be hitting that around August and September. So we're just about there, definitely trending in that direction. So that's exciting. So you have that is your first resource. Your second resource that you have available to you is going to be Innovative Beauty Distributors. So Innovative Beauty um, is a distribution that sells Natural Leak, and that is a color line, which is a hybrid line. So there's multiple, you can just use the same color for semi, demi, or permanent color. Has an amazing lightener. It also has a retail line that goes with it. So that's important. So we have an incredible retail line, natural as well. And then there's Luca Guard, which is the skincare line, which is amazing. So that's Innovative Beauty. Brooke Christensen runs that department, and she is absolutely amazing in customer service. She knows everything about the education. She knows everything about um, any questions that you might have, shipping, orders, anything like that. So she's your go-to in that department. And so then the third thing that you resource that you have available to you is also the business coaching, and that's what I do and Kelly does. So the business coaching, what we do is we have group coaching, we have a course, and we have a community. Now, depending on each individual person, we kind of customize what we're doing for each person and each business to make sure that you're reaching your goals and assess your business and figure out how to get you moving forward in the right direction. And implement systems that help you achieve those goals. So whether you're a 10,000, you're trying to hit 10, 20, 30, 40 a month, whatever that is, we'll be here to help you to achieve those goals and move forward in your business. So those are the resources that you have available to you to help you besides this community. And we also have a Facebook group. So if you're interested in being in the Facebook group, there's we go live on there on Mondays at noon. So after this live, then I'll go on Mondays. Now, coming up in the next few weeks, we have some natural leap training and some Vish training. So we'll be doing some interviews on that. So it'll be a little different form for that. So if you've been following along up to now, you should have a general idea of kind of like what areas you need to work on in your business. So some people go through this quick business analysis and then they're like, okay, this is what we need to work on. Well, today we're going to take a little deeper dive. We're going to talk about your SWOT numbers. So, in your SWOT. So, what is SWOT? SWOT is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So, those are the things that you're going to be looking at in your business. Now, a SWOT is also when you're doing this assessment, it's really something that's done in Fortune 500 companies. If you've ever worked for a Fortune 500 company, you'll definitely um, be aware of what a SWOT analysis is. So, what this does is it helps you analyze your business in a really unique way. It's also meant to be done in a group. So, you can set it up as an individual, like as a salon owner, but it's really meant to be in a group so that you can all come up with ideas and think about how to move the business forward and make some innovative choices and decisions about the issues, the pluses and the negatives. Also, some of it is an interior review of your business. Like the business analysis we did before was very interior. There really wasn't a lot of exterior. And this also has some exterior. So I also downloaded or uploaded the SWOT assessment. It looks like this so that you can use that to assess your business. And that'll help you a lot. All right, well, let's get started. And what's going on with the SWOT? What is it? Okay, so we're going to embark upon a project. So that project is figuring out where to put our time and energy into our business and also how to make informed planning decisions. So we're not just going, oh, we need to work on marketing or oh, we need to work on social media. There's many places in the business. That's why it's so difficult to run because you have so many hats. So you need to figure out what are you doing well. A lot of times we don't look at that. We're only looking at, well, I need to do this and I need to do this, I need to do this. And what we really need to do is have a clear plan because clear plans that have an execution, action taken, and everyone's on board helps to move the business forward as a group instead of just the owner trying to drag everyone along with them. And the new way of really doing business is having your entire team involved in the decision making process and also the action steps and delegating and all of those things. So, the first thing that we're going to talk about is strengths. So S for SWOT is strengths. So it's important to look at what you're exceptional at. Is it customer service? My salon was exceptional at bridal. We were an amazing bridal team. What is it that your team does well? Are they excellent at color? Do you happen to have some like leaders, educators? What are you amazing at? What are you exceptional at? So that's what your strengths are. So in your categories here, you're going to put in your strengths category what it is that you're exceptional at. And, what are the strengths of your services? Exactly, what strengths do you have in the services that you have? Maybe you're super awesome at social media. It could be anything. It really depends on your particular business. So what you're wanting to do is get your team together and decide, what that looks like for you. The second one is weaknesses. Now, this is really important to be honest during the weaknesses because it's really just something that a goal that you're working to perfect. So it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be perfect. It's important to just be honest about where your weaknesses are. Is it a product weakness? Are you having trouble getting your product? Is the product not performing in the way that you would like? Um, what is the company lacking? Is it culture? Are you having trouble growing the business? Is it getting a team together that's really cohesive and feels like a team? What are others doing better than you're doing? Do you feel like there's another company out there that's doing something better than you're doing? And what would that be? Excuse me. And then what are your resource limitations? What are the limitations in your resources? Do you have issues with funds? Do you not have enough leaders in your group? What kind of resources are you lacking? Are you not getting your product? Are you um, don't have anyone who's really good at social media? Are you having trouble staying in budget? Like, what resources, what are the problems? What are the resources that you are limited in your company? Is it finances, or you just don't have the funds to do the things that you want to do? So those things are some of the things that you want to look at when you're looking at your weaknesses. The next one is opportunities. So SWOT, strengths, weakness, opportunities. So opportunities. So what kind of opportunities are available to you that you haven't had time to think about? See, when you get a group together, your whole team, they start putting together opportunities that maybe you hadn't considered, or maybe just kind of got pushed to the wayside because there was other things that were more pressing. So opportunities like press and media, how to get press and media coverage, which would boom your business. Have just really having that available or having that out there, having some press and media coverage would make a huge difference, right? So, what about emerging needs? What about things that are just coming to the forefront? Um, for your products or services. Like right now, sustainability is huge and it is coming fast. So you have to either get on board or you're going to be the first, or you're going to be the last, pretty much. And so, what is the emerging need? The emerging need is a more natural product, less chemicals, things like that. Or what is an emerging need in your business? What specifically do you feel like is an emerging need that needs to be taken care of, that maybe your company could move in that direction? You have to understand the markets for your specific product. And we have really two kinds of products in the beauty business. We have a service, and then we have a home care or a retail product that comes with, skincare, if it's a facial service, or a skincare service, or if it's a hair service, home care for that, and treatments, that sort of thing. So understand your specific product, and is it providing what you want it to provide? Is it giving the client everything they could want? Because the more you offer them, the better off you are. What about competitors in your area? Do you have competitors in your area? Are they really competitors? That's really important. I have been out in the field quite a bit over the last several weeks. And I would say what I've learned is that your competitors are really who you think they are. And are they really the competitor that you thought? There's some big salons out there that are closed on Sunday and Monday, um, that are closed, that aren't open 7 days a week, or five, even 5 or 6 days a week. I'm not sure how you stay viable that way. And I'm talking about actual brick and mortar salons. I'm not talking about independence here. But also, it does also play into independence as well. If you're not working very many hours or days, you're tapping out your revenue opportunities. So definitely that is important. With the cost of things going up so significantly, even a price increase, if you're not working enough days and hours, even a price increase is not going to give you what you're wanting. It's going to be hard to meet those goals. So looking at those kinds of things, for opportunities, also underserved markets. So underserved markets for your specific product. So do you need to market a little bit outside of where you are? People will come a long way to get what they want. So what are the underserved markets in your area? Are you someplace that has, a Walmart pretty far away or a Target kind of far away? And so, your retail sales for what your product that you're offering is important because they can pop in and get the product if they need it. They can get it out when they're there for their appointment. So, do you have an Ulta down the road? And so it's harder, you feel like it might be harder to get that. How do you compete with that? What would be something that you could offer in order to compete, or if you feel like that's something that you need to compete with? So, underserved markets in your area, areas where in your market where you have a heavier um, product or service that matches what you're doing and there's competition there. So those kind of things. So what are the opportunities? Where is there an underserved market? Um, where are there who's your competitors in your area? You know, what about press and media, social media, all of those kinds of things? What are you offering? What could you offer that no one else is offering in your area that's going to set you apart? What are the opportunities that you're missing? Like we said, like Kelly and I were talking about, being a sustainable salon is a huge opportunity for you to offer something that no one else has. Everyone is concerned about chemicals, breathing chemicals. They're concerned about the damage to their skin, their hair, their lungs. And that's not just for the guests, but also your team's health. So those things are important. Opportunities. Is it press? Is it media? The next one is threats. So, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So, weaknesses and threats are different. Weaknesses are what things are actually in your business that are areas that need work, what that you're weak in. Threats is more of like emerging competitors, um, changing regulatory environment, which in Texas, that's definitely happening. And then negative press, for instance, Olaplex has had some negative press. Some product lines are going to Sally Beauty Supply. That's having some negative press. And how can you turn that into a positive for your business? So those are threats. Changing customer attitude, like I said, sustainability is becoming a huge deal for customers and what they're wanting and what their desires are. The business is changing so incredibly fast. I've never seen anything like it in the 27 years I've been doing business. So I know that this is unusual, and status quo and staying the same is not going to grow your business. You have to change and move with the market, and the market is changing extremely fast right now. So, strengths and weaknesses are internal. Those are things that are happening inside your business, where opportunities and threats are external. So, our initial business analysis we did was very internal. This is both. And then each category has a positive and a negative. So, for instance, your strengths are positive and your weaknesses are a negative, but they're also internal. Positive and negatives inside your business. And then opportunities and threats are external. And opportunities is external positive, and threats is external negative. So, what you're wanting to do is understand how you're putting this together. So, we're going to talk about the action plan next. So, now that you have an idea of what a SWOT is, now online, there are a ton of different templates for a SWOT analysis. Um, you can look at those templates, you can do all kinds of and there's tons of information on there about a SWOT analysis. So you certainly can reach out and just Google S.W.A.T, and it's going to give you tons of information about the SWOT, certain questions you can ask, that sort of thing. But on this forum, we're just going to kind of go over it and review kind of what it is and how to implement it, how to do your action steps. So let's talk about your action steps. So the first thing is you want to get your team together. This is definitely a team environment. Now let's say that you're an independent. Um, in your independent, I would maybe get with a couple of your clients that you know are great business people and kind of sit down with them and ask them some of these questions, and kind of go over some of this with some other people. Maybe set a time, ask them to come, ask them to sit down with you, and just hammer some of this out to figure out exactly, how you can move your business forward for your goals. Maybe you want to stay independent and you're looking for a numeric goal, and then, or maybe you're going to be an independent and you're looking to move into a salon. Maybe you're in a salon right now and you're exhausted and you're wearing 50 million hats and you need a clear plan to move forward. And this helps you achieve that clear plan. So if you're an independent, I would find a couple of clients that you feel like are really business savvy, smart, maybe business owners themselves that you can sit down with and kind of, hash a few things out, get some ideas, be very positive. If you're a business owner, then you're going to get your team together. So make an appointment, get them all together. You can do it with a whiteboard and use the same format that I have that you can download from this group. So get your team together and set aside a time. That's important. And then number two is you're going to set up quadrants on the whiteboard. So these quadrants are going to be S.W.A.T. Okay, just like that, these quadrants. Okay. And then you're just listing strengths under S, weaknesses under W, threats and opportunities, and then your internal and external, and then your action items at the bottom. So down here is your action items. And that you just download that sheet, print it out, or you can just use that as a template and draw it on a whiteboard. Um, So then you're going to start with your strengths. You're going to go over your strengths. What are we great at? What are we amazing at? You're going to follow with weaknesses. Where are we weak? Our opportunities. What are we missing? What are things we'd love to have available to us? And then lastly, your threats. Okay. And then number five, you're going to organize the information into a document and where you can analyze the information. So after you've met with your group and your team, your culture, and you get them all together and you're like, okay, let's talk about what we're great at. Okay, where do you feel like maybe we could improve? You're being very positive during these meetings and you want them included. Don't give every answer that you think should be there. You need to get answers from them on what they think needs to happen. And then what you're doing is you're getting all that information together after the meeting is over and you're creating a document about it. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to send this document or give this document to your team. The reason you're doing that is you're giving them time. You're putting all the information together and you're giving them time to assess the information, maybe even come up with a few more ideas or thoughts about the process. And then lastly, so you're going to give them your team the notes. And then number seven, you're going to organize a second meeting. And the second meeting is to come up with action items and delegate those action items. So you're coming up with action items saying, okay, we need to figure out how to get some PR going here. And then you're delegating those action items. Who thinks that they might want to research that, find out how to do it, who's interested in the PR? How can we make that happen? Who's interested in social media? We got to get our social media up. How can we set it up differently? Maybe everyone's sending everything to one app, and then it's allocated from that app so that you have control of what's being put out there. Maybe you're committing to a video a couple times a week instead of just photos, because we all know the video is extremely important. So it just whatever it is that you've come up with from your analysis with your group on your SWOT analysis is how you're going to put that information together, set up a second video, a second meeting, and then you're going to go through and discuss how to take action and plan it. And what kind of planning are we talking about? Well, what needs to be included in your planning is what needs to be done, what's the goal, what's the objective, how are you going to take action on the objective? What problems may you come may come up that you need to overcome, solutions to those problems before they come up so you can overcome them and plan for that. And then a goal or a deadline. We need a goal and a deadline. So when are we going to have this implemented by what time, what date? And then of course you want to be flexible as an owner. So let's say you had two of your team members that took on a PR project. And as you're meeting with them or talking with them over the weeks, you're realizing that it was an unrealistic goal, that it's going to take a little bit more time to get it really nailed down. Then be flexible and adjust the goal. You just want to be able to move forward. And if you put too much pressure on the people that you delegated to do the job, you're going to have a hard time getting it completed. So you want to be encouraging and positive and positive. Ask them, is this a realistic goal, or do you think we might need to adjust the goal a little bit? What are your thoughts on that? Should we push it out another week? That sort of thing. So you're wanting to be flexible, work with your team in a positive way. Ladies, how's it going? What's going on this week? Oh, we were really busy, so we didn't have time to work on it this week. Okay, well, let's schedule some time. Overcome the obstacles to get your team moving forward. Okay, so that's what a SWOT analysis is. Um, there is so much involved in it. I could talk for days about a SWOT analysis. But if you go online, you're going to find more specific questions for each category that you can ask. Now, the reason I didn't go into those questions is because they don't all pertain, not very, not all of it pertains to the beauty industry. So you're going to want to go on there and kind of see exactly what questions that pertain to your particular business. Maybe you have a facial business or a skincare business, and some of those questions don't really apply. But they'll give you an idea of how to apply those questions to each category. So it's not just crickets when you start. Usually, if you start with strengths, it's not going to be crickets. People will be able to give you the strengths. They know what they do well. So starting with strengths and you go through it. So that is your training for today on your SWOT analysis. And what we're doing here is we are building from the very first class that we had about who are we, what do we do, to our business analysis, which was very simple, super easy, just kind of giving you a rough idea of like what areas you might need to work on, to running your numbers so you can figure out what kind of numbers we're wanting and what is our goal for the year, for the month, weekly, daily, hourly. Like, what are we trying to achieve here? And then we're doing a SWOT analysis to find out internal and external issues in the business in order to connect that together. And then we're talking about goal setting and putting all of that information together to make a really clear plan and a really clear action plan on how to achieve the goals that you're wanting to achieve this year. So we're not just going, okay, here's a quick business analysis, set your goals, go. The process of setting up a plan that's really going to work and is really moving your business forward really is diving deep into the business. That's internal, external, what's working, what's not working, and how do we go about fixing it and improving it so that we can hit our goals. So those are the reasons why we're going through this process. If you're going through this process with me and you're doing these trainings, you're going to find out that it's taking you on a path to really, this first quarter of the year, really look at where you want to be and what your goal really needs to be. Maybe you thought it was social media, but maybe social media isn't the place that you're really going to get the benefit that you're looking for. Maybe that's what you've been focused on, or maybe you've been focused on an area and not noticing another area that really needs work. So this is going to give you a really clear assessment of the business. It's very hard to do that when you're, especially if you're working behind the chair, because you're so busy doing services. Analyzing your business in a really structured way and being able to take that information and turn it into an action plan and goal setting is imperative to actually moving forward. Everyone thinks they can just move forward. Oh, it's this, we need to work on this, and I'm just going to push, push, push. But unless your team is all on board and they've been part of the process from the beginning and training and coming up with the reasons and all of the solutions and delegating and saying, "I'll do that." If they're not part of the plan, you're gonna have a hard time moving forward. So I hope this has been helpful for you today with your SWOT analysis, and you can look up a little bit more of that and get this information. Don't forget to get your ticket for the Sustainable Salon Summit. They are selling out. We only have 300 and I think 350 tickets were initially available, and I've been out in the field. Kelly has sold quite a few. Brooks moving tickets. Um, We've got some online sources that are selling tickets as well. So definitely don't miss it because you're really going to want to be present for this. It's not like your regular hair show. This is a different kind of event. It is something you've never experienced before. There's education, and it's not just somebody they've decided should be an educator. These are CEOs of businesses. These are people with a ridiculous amount of followers, really some influencers that you just won't even imagine. We don't want to give it all away, but because we want you to be surprised and impressed with the event we have available for you. So we want to invite you. Don't forget to get your ticket. And I will see you next week, same time, same place, and we'll move forward from there. I may or may not follow the schedule. I may be changing what the schedule is for next week. I believe it's goal setting. Um, but it's possible that I may be interviewing someone next week. So we're just going to be flexible because if I have the opportunity to give you information from another source, excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. If I can give you information from another source and interview someone, then I think that would be a great value to you. So I definitely would bring that to you, and we'll move the class down and create a space for that. Also coming, we're going to have natural leak training. So that's awesome because you're going to get to hear about the product and you're going to get to learn about what it is that we're talking about organic beauty and why it's important. And then also, we have a Vish training coming too, as well. So if you're interested in Vish or why that's important or how that affects your business, which is huge, how it affects your business, affected my business incredibly. So I definitely want to make sure that you're here for that. So have a great week. Looking forward to getting back on next week, and we'll see you soon.